The Clippers on Wednesday night, Seattle on Friday night, and San Antonio Saturday night, all here. Wide open is Turkoglu for the long jumper, missed everything, right to Cato. He had it knocked away, and Daniels picks it out of the air. Antonio inside, draws contact. He loves to attack the basket. He often does so with reckless abandon. And he usually finds himself at the free throw line.
Yeah, he's not afraid to give up his body. He's taking some hard falls.
Talked to Antonio in the preseason. He said he thinks it's a cool team, to use his term. Said the guys genuinely enjoy being around each other. And he says when you hang out with somebody off the court, it makes it that much easier to reward them on the court.
Yeah, they've all three of the new guys have given credit to the players that have been here, but I think some of that credit has to go back to them for being very willing to assimilate into a group of guys that's been here for a couple of years.
And another defensive 3-second violation on the Wizards, the second of the game. So it results in another technical foul. This one will be shot by Turkoglu. Antonio Daniels wears a wristband on his right wrist. And I asked him about that this season. He said it's the initials of his wife and his newborn.
Just had one this summer, I believe, right?
That's correct. Stevenson inside for the big man Cato. And he is muscled by Jared Jeffries. Let's see who James Capers calls it on. It is on Jeffries. And that, I believe, is his third personal. Cato's a big man, Phil. 275 pounds.
Yes, he is. He came over in the trade with Stevie Francis, and I think they expected a little bit more from him. With his size, he just hasn't really been able to give them the kind of inside strength to go along with Dwight Howard.
Makes them both. Now 5 of 6 from the line for the season. Coming down to 3 minutes. Magic lead by 3. Their largest has been 4. Wizards had a 4-point lead as well. Arenas off the Jeffrey screen, and that's way too short. Howard the rebound. Wizards now shooting 38% from the field for the game. Stevenson around Arenas, drives the lane, throws it up, can't get the roll. Cato is there. He is hacked by Haywood. And it'll send Kelvin Cato back to the line to shoot 2 more.
Now that sequence started when you had Gilbert reaching for the steal, not coming up with it, and now all of a sudden you have numbers. You see Stevenson gets by him, forces Brendan Haywood to react, and that allows Cato to get in position for the offensive rebound. Washington again starting to see those offensive rebounds of their opponents to slowly creep up to a high number.
Last night, New York had, what, 29 offensive rebounds?
29 offensive rebounds.
That's amazing. Cato is perfect from the line, 4 for 4. And the Magic have their largest lead of 5. Arenas looking for help. 4 seconds to shoot. Gilbert spinning inside, and it will not count. That is a 24-second violation. And Steve Francis got hit, and he is down wincing. I can't tell if he hurt.
Well, he was challenging that what we thought was going to be a shot attempt by Arenas, but instead Gilbert passed it and didn't leave enough time to get the shot off.
And Stevie is limping noticeably and is sort of trying to get himself into the flow, but can't. Turkoglu throws it away, and let's see if Francis stays in. It looks like he will now.
Sometimes you only feel that pain when you're on the defensive side.
I think he may have been hit in the groin, Phil, from the way he reacted, the way he looks. Jamison takes the long jumper and swishes it in. Magic by 3. Howard, pretty finger roll. Dwight Howard in his second year from Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. Averaging 14 points, 5.5 rebounds so far this year. Jeffries looking for Arenas, but knocked away.
Well, he had him cutting to the middle, but couldn't get that pass completed. Somebody got a hand on it. Gilbert breathing a little hard, but he's one of the best conditioned athletes out here.
Gilbert now 6 of 12 from the field. That's 13 points. Swinging for Francis. 2 seconds. Eat.
Well, I talked about Cato being somewhat mystical with this team, but offensively he's come in and provided 8 points already.
Jamison knocked away, gets it back, drives on Turkoglu, and draws a foul. Third personal on Hedo Turkoglu. And Antoine Jamison will shoot his first free throws of the night.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's important. I mean, you got your scores. Jamison going to the line for the first time. Gilbert still has yet to get to the free throw line. And these are the guys that are normally going to really attack the basket and try to put some pressure on the defense.
Michael Ruffin comes in for Jared Jeffries. Jamison last year a 76% free throw shooter. Averaged 19.5 points, 7.5 rebounds. Of course, the season before, he won the NBA Sixth Man of the Year award with Dallas. In that stint, he came off the bench in all but 2 games to average almost 15 points and 6 boards. And of course, last year, starting in Washington and becoming a first-time All-Star. Ooh, he traveled. Stevie tried to pull up.
Pressure from Antoine Jamison, and Gilbert Arenas did a good job staying with Deshaun Stevenson. So Francis really had nowhere to make that pass and was forced to the traveling violation.
So the Wizards can take the final shot of the half, trailing 42-37. Nice pass to Arenas for the three-point shot. Good.
Nice two-man game, and once again, very unselfish pass in between the two.
That's good if it goes, and it does not. And there is 1/10 of a second remaining on the clock. And so that will be the end of the first half. So the Wizards led by as many as 4. Orlando led by as many as 7. But Arenas with that three-point jumper cuts it to 2 at the half. Gilbert 16 points in 21 minutes on 7 of 13 shooting. And he leads all scorers in the game. Halftime in Washington. The Magic lead the Wizards 42-40. And we send you back to our Comcast Sportsnet studios in Bethesda and join Marius Payton.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Comcast Sportsnet studios for the Wizards halftime report. Let's step away from the Wizards and Magic for a moment and head to some other action from around the NBA. Delonte West and the Celtics taking on the Bobcats in Charlotte. Early first quarter, Paul Pierce drives to the hole for the layup. That shot right there puts Boston up by 6. Later in the quarter, Ricky Davis is going to drive, kicks it out to West for the 3. That's going to drop. Celtics right now leading the first, 28-20. Pistons hosting the Raptors. First quarter, off the missed shot, Raptors in transition. Jalen Rose with a no-look pass to Jose Calderon for the layup. Pistons still had an early lead, and right now, they still have a big lead, 40-24 in the second. We're taking a quick break. When we return, an update on the TO fallout. Stick around.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
As they gathered in celebration to lay the final rails that would unite North, South, East, West, and one great country, there was not a man among them who wasn't looking forward to a few days off, a good meal, and perhaps, most of all, a cleaner locomotive. GE Transportation presents the Evolution Series, the cleanest, most fuel-efficient locomotive we've ever created. And that's a big hats off to another product of pure eco-imagination, GE, imagination at work.
I promise, Chevy Equinox has the highest possible 5-star government front crash test rating.
And has the most rear seat legroom of any SUV in its class.
Equinox. The #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
Now get a 2006 Equinox LS front-wheel drive for around $20,345 after all applicable offers.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise, and it starts right here.
See your local Chevy dealer or log on to ChevyFirst.com.
We believe we can score on the opening face-off. We believe in the unbelievable. We believe in and we believe in the great one, the next one, and that we are all part of one big hockey family. Unless you have the puck, because that's different. We believe in hockey.
The NHL on OLN, Monday, Penguins Rangers, 7 o'clock.
Chevy Chase Bank has the most branches, the most ATMs, and this, the building they call headquarters. You see, Chevy Chase Bank is a hometown bank, founded here, based here.
They're deeply committed to local home ownership programs, to community organizations and events.
Rest assured, when you bank with Chevy Chase Bank, your money is always close to home. Chevy Chase Bank, the leading local bank.
High flying, hard hitting, and slightly out of control. It's the best damn sports show, period. Join Chris Rose, John Sally, Rob Dibble, and Rodney Pete for the most outrageous late-night sports show television's ever seen.
That's not cool, Sally.
Where the stars and Hall of Famers come together. America's favorite late-night sports show has a whole new edge. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet.
Capitals hockey Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet. The Caps head to Toronto for a great NHL battle in prime time. Then watch Capitals postgame live right after the game. Coverage starts at 6:30. The Capitals and Maple Leafs Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet.
I'm Dave Lato. You're watching Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. The Philadelphia Eagles arrived at their hotel today in preparation for tomorrow night's game without Terrell Owens. T.O. is OUT. Suspended from the team today by Coach Andy Reid for conduct detrimental to the team. And according to the collective bargaining agreement, that means T.O. could be out for up to 4 games. So the wide receiver will not play against the Redskins tomorrow night. Here's what's happening tonight on Sports Night presented by Price Waterhouse Coopers. We'll have all the action from Blacksburg as the Hokies and Hurricanes battle. We're going to have a complete wrap-up of the game you're watching right now as Washington plays their home opener against the Magic, and the inspirational story of how kayaking is helping the men and women who've been hurt serving our country. Well, that's it for this edition of the Halftime Report. I'm Marius Payton, and after the break, it's back out to the NCI Center for the second half of the Wizards and Magic. Enjoy, everybody.
I'll call you later.
your voice, you know it's been so long. If I don't get your calls and everything goes wrong, don't leave me high. You know it's sad.
When it matters, more bars in more places. Hello? That's the goal of the largest digital voice and data network in America. Hey, Lauren. Singular's all-over network. Singular, raising the bar.
At SunTrust, we see beyond wealth to why you build it. We help you make the right financial choices now and smarter ones for generations to come. We look beyond balance sheets to what growing businesses need, and beyond the next deal to help companies well into the next decade. We look beyond banking to offer financial services that help entire communities grow stronger. SunTrust, seeing beyond money.
Yo, the MCI Center is crazy. It's off the backboard.
Hey fans, tickets for all Wizards games through December are now on sale. The Wizards will face some of the NBA's hottest teams, including the Miami Heat, Los Angeles Lakers, and Phoenix Suns, all in December. That's all games through December on sale now, including Kobe and the Lakers, Shaq and the Heat, and Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns. Don't miss these great games. Call 202-397-SEAT or log on to WashingtonWizards.com.
Tickets are on sale now.
Every one of your senses has been made a priority. The new 6-speed all-wheel drive IS from Lexus at your Washington area Lexus dealer.
It's Macy's Election Day sale. Save an extra 10 to 20% with your Macy's card. Fashion for her, 25% plus an extra 15% off. Macy's. Way to shop.
Halftime in Washington, and the Wizards in their first of 4 meetings with the Orlando Magic trail the Magic by 2, 42-40, after Orlando had built a 7-point lead. Hi, folks. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier. Entertaining first half, although we haven't seen Steve Francis go off quite like I thought he might. He's been rather unselfish in passing the basketball, but I think Jameer Nelson came in, Stevenson played well, and also the big man, Kelvin Cato, really got things going for Orlando.
Yeah, they got a big lift off their bench. It's been an up-and-down game. Once again, we haven't seen Washington really sustain a superb effort yet, but they keep hanging around, doing things defensively, keeping their opponents at a low percentage.
Well, we saw that last night in New York. The Wizards got cold in the second quarter, but lo and behold, in the second half, especially in the fourth period, both Antoine Jamison and Gilbert Arenas got very hot. So we'll see if that manifests itself again here in this ball game. But we'll take a look at the Geico highlights. Both teams active to start the game, and in fact, Orlando coming up with a steal very early on to get things rolling.
Well, that's right. First play of the game, you had a turnover there. Deshaun Stevenson advances the ball to Steve Francis. He gets the easy 2. Washington with 6 turnovers, giving up 9 points. And then offensive rebound. That's another problem that's hampered them throughout the first 3 games. They've given up 11 offensive rebounds tonight to the Magic in the first half. Stevie Francis, though, showing he's got that outside shot. He can do it all, only with 5 points so far. Kind of quiet on the offensive end. Nice shot there from Jarvis Hayes. Sweet bank shot, soft touch. And then you're going to see Gilbert Arenas flush this thing down. 2 of his 16 points right there. And also ended the first half with that 3 to bring Washington down by 2.
Wizards were out-rebounded on the offensive glass again in the first half, and we know what happened last night. New York had 29 offensive rebounds, 11-7 on the offensive glass. Is there anything that you can do if you're Eddie Jordan to keep those teams off the glass like that?
Well, I think Eddie responded to this question in that, you know, when you're applying so much pressure defensively, you're rotating. Sometimes those passing lanes or those lanes, rebounding lanes, are going to be open, but they just have to do a better job of finding bodies, putting a body on a guy. We've seen a couple of times in transition where they left people open for offensive rebounds.
Well, they played pretty good defense so far on Steve Francis. He's got just 5 points in the game, while Gilbert Arenas leads all scorers with 16. Third quarter action coming up from the MCI Center with the Wizards trailing the Magic by 2.
Yeah. Looking good. Keep working. Not under the boat now.
Here, you got it? Yeah, get it in. Yeah.
Bummer, it's just an 8-footer.
Oh, well, throw it back.
Yeah.
A bad day in Florida beats a good day almost anywhere else. Fly Southwest Airlines from BWI Airport to Florida for just $79 one way, including our new nonstop service to Fort Myers, Naples.
You are now free to move about the country.
If you're looking for answers from an auto parts store, get ready. Advance Auto Parts is working harder to help you save money by doing it yourself. Get ready for certified experts who are ready to help. Get ready for answers on any project you can easily understand. Get ready for in-depth information from Advance TV, our exclusive in-store how-to network. Get ready to go from no way to know how. For all the advice you'll ever need, the first place to go is Advance Auto Parts.
We're ready in advance.
Salmon spend most of their adult lives in the ocean. After maturing, they migrate back to spawn in the same rivers and streams where they were born. It is here that many a salmon's life is cut short. However, there is good news. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
November 30th is Singles Night as the Wizards take on the Portland Trailblazers in what promises to be a truly magical night. Get set for an evening full of singles events before, during, and after the game. Your ticket will include access to the pregame singles lounge as well as the postgame celebrity dating contest.
Take a chance on a little romance.
That's Singles Night on November 30th. You don't want to be left out. Log on to WashingtonWizards.com for more details.
Go ahead. Take a chance on a little romance.
Get your game on. Comcast Sportsnet, come on. Get your fire, get your fury, get your kicks, get your hits, get your score, get more. 24/7, 365, get close, get the most free posts tonight. Get your game on. Comcast Sportsnet, get your game on. Comcast Sportsnet.
Deep to right field, down the line, it is out of here!
Sportsnet, get your game on. Comcast Sportsnet.
Halftime in Washington, and the Wizards trail the Magic by 2. The Wizards had a 4-point lead at one point, and the Magic built it to 7 of their own. But Gilbert Arenas hit a 3-point field goal just to end the half. And that's where we stand right now as we get set to start third quarter action. The Wizards shooting 40% in the first half, Orlando 38. See the free throws, Washington getting there just 10 times, making 6. Out rebounded by 8. And as we said, 11-7 on the offensive glass, Phil.
They have to continue to improve upon that area. They gave up 16 second chance points. So again, giving up those offensive rebounds hurt you.
Leading scorers, Turkoglu and Kelvin Cato. Cato off the bench for 8 points. Howard with 7, and Steve Francis had just 5 in the first half. And the Wizards were led by Gilbert Arenas with 16, Haywood 7, Jamison and Hayes 6, and Antonio Daniels 4. Gilbert Arenas picking up a Community Outreach Award, the Community Assist Award for August just moments ago with team owner Abe Poland and Mayor Anthony Williams. Gilbert, as you know, hand delivering $18,000 worth of provisions that he personally purchased and delivered to the D.C. Armory to help the hurricane survivors who arrived shortly thereafter. Let's send you over to Chick Hernandez. Chick?
And guys, you're talking about Gilbert Arenas. It's been a big, obviously, year for him. His first All-Star appearance last year. He's on the cover of Street and Strength magazine and on the front of the NBA Register. So a Wizard on 2 different publications, pretty big publications as well. And you talk about a guy who, when Antonio Daniels came here, he said the biggest surprise when he found this team was that Gilbert Arenas was as good as he is. And he's just getting better, fellas.
Good and light. Gilbert actually lost 7 pounds over the summer. There you see the pictures of Arenas, the bottom of your screen there, and on Street and Smith's on the left side. Gilbert losing 7 pounds. He said he went on a little bit of a diet and wanted to become quicker, which is a scary proposition for the rest of the NBA, as if he wasn't quick enough already.
Be interesting to find out what his body fat content is.
I would imagine it's not much.
I wouldn't think so. I saw him very low. I saw him the first time I saw him over at practice just before the season started. I mean, you could just see his physique was just right there, and he was running up and down. And several of these guys, though, spent a lot of work during the offseason. They talked about it, Tom Thomas, and getting his body in shape. This is a year-round job for these guys.
Brendan Haywood, Jarvis Hayes said he split time between his home in Georgia and here. Antonio Daniels kicks it out for Arenas. Gilbert for Jeffries. He'll take the long jumper and miss it off the rim. The Wizards trail by 3. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Chick Hernandez, and our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. Game number 3 as the Wizards look to start the season 3-0 for the first time since 1978-79, and Howard inside for an easy slam. The lead back up to 5.
Nice assist from Steve Francis. You talked about the fact that he'd only had 5 points, but he did lead his team with 6 rebounds
and
in the first half.
Excuse me, Phil, an offensive foul has just been called on Brendan Haywood. And on Haywood, that is his 3rd personal foul.
Well, here you see Francis having a lane and throws a nice lob pass to Howard.
Magic have outscored the Wizards 24-16 in the paint. And that is a foul on Jared Jeffries. Will send Tony Battie to the line, and so some defensive breakdowns now for Washington.
Well, they're doing something to draw the defense away from the basket and then making good penetrating passes in the middle where they have numbers. And they forced Washington to commit some fouls on the last 2 or 3 possessions.
Battie now 1 of 3 from the line. Eddie Jordan, since the inception of training camp in Richmond, Virginia at VCU, stressing defense. He knows this team has the ability to score. We all know that. But the defense really didn't kick in last year until Game 3 of the Chicago series, after the Wizards had dropped 2 in Chicago. And that's going to be Orlando Ball.
Well, I tell you what, that was a long pass, and Steve Francis had seen that pass coming from a long ways away. He was right there. I tell you, Jared did a good job. There's that pass, and you can see already Francis was in the lane. Jared hustling to make sure he doesn't get a breakaway layup.
Francis for Stevenson. Quick pass to Battie. And tip no good. Jamison is there. 6-point Magic lead. They've led by as many as 7. Antoine for 3. Short.
Sometimes you're open. That shot looks so good, but they don't give you 3 points for it for nothing. It's a pretty good distance.
Yeah, it's a long way out there. Magic are 0-2. Lost to the Pacers 90-78. Lost to Memphis last night 94-85. Circulou follows and can't tip it in. Looking down low for Haywood. They'll try the post. Brendan, jump hook short. Jamison battling. Out of bounds to the Magic.
Well, we've gone 2.5 minutes and Washington yet to score.
Wow, how did that stay out? Rebound, and Orlando get it back. New 24-second clock.
Well, a pick and roll, Dwight Howard going to the basket strong and has to avoid the charge, but he can't figure out how that ball didn't stay down either.
Stevenson. And the Magic have their largest lead of 8. Jamison back to Hayes. That's a good looking pass for the open jumper, but he can't convert. Tipped up and in by Arenas.
I think he was tipping that more to keep it away from the 2 defenders that were challenging him for that rebound, but got the kind roll and it went off the glass.
18 points for Gilbert, the only Wizard in double figures. Turkoglu from the top of the key for 3. $11 points in the game for Hedo Turkoglu. Gilbert for 3, that's no good. Picked up by Jamison and he scores.
Looked like both Petit and Howard couldn't find the handle and it popped over to Antoine Jamison.
Calvin Booth off the Washington bench. Tipped away by Arenas and out of bounds, and now Booth will check in. Wizards just 2 of 10 from 3-point range. The Magic 2 of 6. And Booth in his 7th year from Penn State. You remember the Wizards drafted him back in '99. And then he went to Dallas with Juwan Howard in the deal for Etan Thomas and Leitner, among others. Boy, nearly taken away. Howard couldn't slam it in, but a foul is called.
Well, that was just a kind bounce. Antoine Jamison was right in position to intercept that pass, but didn't hold on to it. Calvin Booth with the foul. There you see he's right there in position for the steal, but he doesn't hold on to it and pops over to Dwight Howard. He's challenged by Calvin Booth, who picks up the foul.
67% free throw shooter so far this season, now in his 2nd year.
Well, you know, he averaged 12 points, 10 rebounds, a phenomenal number for a guy just coming out of high school, but the last 19 games he averaged almost 17 points and a little under 10.5 rebounds, so he finished off the season strong. This whole organization sings nothing but praise for this guy. They saw a lot of him over the summer. He worked out, and he's ready to show that there is no sophomore jinx.
Yeah, he is expected to become the next superstar big man. And they're resting much of their hopes on that young man along with Steve Francis. Jamison, nice pass. Booth, he got fouled, and Calvin will shoot 2.
All right, good job that time. 2-man game, and Jamison shoveling that pass off after he drew the defense. Wizards only had 6 assists in that first half, and that's what has been working so well for him the first 2 games. There you can see the shovel pass from Jamison over to Booth.
Calvin played in Dallas, as I mentioned, in that trade with Juwan Howard. The trade for Etan Thomas. After that, he went to Seattle. They signed him as a free agent, and he played 3 years with the Sonics. And Dallas re-signed him. Then they traded him to Milwaukee for Keith Van Horn. He played 17 games last year with the Bucks. Loose ball foul will be called on Orlando, and it's on Tony Battie. Hey fans, Wizards individual tickets are now available through December. Log on to WashingtonWizards.com for individual tickets through the month of December. Wizards home for 4 straight games here, including tonight. Clippers Wednesday, Seattle on Friday, San Antonio Saturday. And Jack Nees has called a foul, but I don't know if the Magic players heard his whistle. But Gilbert Arenas will be shooting perhaps 3. It depends where he was shooting from. And they'll say it's a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, I thought I heard the whistle too. It wasn't a really strong whistle. But did you hear it?
Well, I don't know if I heard Jack's or James Capers, but of course Jack Nees, the oldest
Yeah,
official in the NBA.
That, excuse me, Steve, you were wondering if he was inside or outside that three-point lane, but obviously well inside it.
And of
That's
course,
his first free throw, huh?
I was kidding Jack Nees, even though he is the oldest official in the league. He longtime veteran referee. There's Jack. Wizards shooting 64% from the free throw line, 9 of 14. Steve Francis, don't let him get hot. Just his 7th point of the game. Jarvis Hayes inside. Blocked, out of bounds, Wizards ball. Gilbert for Antoine. Pass a little bit low, has to pick it up and still drains it. Ten points for Antoine Jamison. 19 for Arenas, the 2 Wizards in double figures. Francis inside, had it knocked away. Here's Daniels and Arenas. They run 2-on-1. Antonio going all the way, is clobbered inside.
Nice job by Tony Battie to hold Daniels up. He could have fallen rather awkwardly, but that goes back to what we said about Antonio Daniels, not afraid to give up his body.
5:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and Antonio Daniels will go to the line to try to cut the lead to 4.
Extra points for tuning in. Your official call to watch. Redskins post-game live after every Redskins game. Only on Comcast Sportsnet.
In the old days, every bank was a local bank, always close. Like Chevy Chase Bank, they have the most branches and the most ATMs. Coin counting machines that are free to everyone, not just customers. Free online banking.
Even free online bill payment.
And Sunday hours in giant food stores. So whether you're in Georgetown, Germantown, Downtown, or Old Town, your hometown bank is there for you. Chevy Chase Bank, the leading local bank.
Imagine the car you have to drive is actually the car you want to drive. Introducing the Mercedes-Benz R-Class Grand Sports Tourer with seating for 6 and 4-wheel drive. Visit your local authorized dealer and experience it for yourself. Starting at $48,775.
Capitals hockey Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet. The Caps head to Toronto for a great NHL battle in primetime. Then watch Capitals postgame live right after the game. Coverage starts at 6:30. The Capitals and Maple Leafs Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet.
Let's take a look at Washington on the defensive side. You have Tony Battie being guarded there. Ball gets down to him. Now you bring Howard up high. Freeze it right there. You see that Gilbert gets hung up. Stevenson's going to roll down in the middle. Actually, they make a good transfer. Jarvis comes over to stop him. and forces them to make a difficult shot, but still, you want to cut down on those points in the paint.
So Antonio Daniels to the free throw line for 2 shots to try to cut it to 4. Last season was the best of his career. Averaged over 11 points, better than 4 assists, 2.3 rebounds. In 75 games in Seattle, started just twice. Sonics went 52-30 last year. And he's an 82% free throw shooter, making both. Wizards got the 9-point lead to 4. Francis draws contact and he'll shoot 2. Sellout crowd here tonight, 20,173. Last year, 12 regular season sellouts.
Boy, Steve Francis so explosive, gets that ball, and watch him. He seizes the baseline and takes it, goes right after it, forces the foul, but he had several options. He can kick it out to their 3-point shooters, but he's strong enough to take it and finish it at the basket.
Stevie played just 1 year at College Park. Was named 2nd team All-America, 1st team All-ACC, led the Terps in scoring at 17 a game, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, almost 3 steals, and they won a school record 28 games, advancing to the Sweet 16. You remember when he was drafted 7 summers ago by Vancouver, 2nd overall pick. He didn't want to play there, so the Grizzlies dealt him to Houston as part of the 3-team deal that involved 11 players, including former Terp Tony Massenberg.
Yeah, end up making Rookie of the Year along with Elton Brand, so that's why they wanted to keep him in Vancouver.
Arenas, offensive foul.
Sean Stevenson staying his grounds, doing a good job of staying in front of Gilbert Arenas. That's a difficult task. Draws the charge.
That is his 4th personal foul.
Good position.
And so Eddie Jordan is forced to bring Gilbert out and bring Chucky Atkins in. Atkins, Daniels, Jamison, Calvin Booth, and Jarvis Hayes for Washington. Francis around a screen. Chucky is there. Pass up ahead for Daniels. That's goaltending.
That was Stephen Francis getting up there. He still has those hops, but that ball had come off the glass already. Strong move again by Antonio Daniels. And not fearing the contact, not shying away from it at all.
And, you know, just when you're not sure how quick he is, look at the burst of speed from this 30-year-old.
We'd have an extra step somewhere.
Maybe.
There.
Should take everyone you can get, right? Stevenson off the screen, no good. Jarvis Hayes with a nice rebound. Jamison kicks it out for Daniels. He'll take a long 3 and miss it. He went down and he is hurt. Francis the other way, and Antonio Daniels is hurt. He's down and he is in major pain. Eddie Jordan will go out as well, but that looks to be serious because of the pain that Antonio Daniels, you can see, is in. We'll take a break as he's checked by trainers and the coach, and let you know what happens when we get back.
Salmon spend most of their adult lives in the ocean. After maturing, they migrate back to spawn in the same rivers and streams where they were born. It is here that many a salmon's life is cut short. However, there is good news. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Wouldn't it be nice if your stack of bills would just disappear? They can when you refinance with Equity United Mortgage. Consolidate debt, lower your interest, and more when you call or apply online at equityunited.com.
One team, one goal.
With the Wizards 10-game plan, you get Miami for free. See the Wizards take on the best teams in the NBA. 11 games for the price of 10, plus Shaq comes free. You are guaranteed to see All-Stars every game. Call 202-661-5050 or log on to WashingtonWizards.com today.
Every night sports night, presented by PricewaterhouseCoopers, the only one-hour show dedicated to your team. Highlights, breaking news from the area's leading sports network. More games, more news, more passion. Sports night, every night at 10 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey fans, looking for the best deal on a Jeep, Kia, or Subaru? Make sure to visit Jeff Collins at Dulles Motor Cars in Leesburg. See Jeff, he'll take care of you. Dulles Motor Cars, not your ordinary car buying experience. Well, Daniels came down on someone's foot as Jamison scores. We'll show you a replay of that in a moment. Was it Francis?
It was Steve Francis.
And he managed to walk off with some help, but at least he walked off, which was good to see. And we'll update you on his condition as soon as we can. Francis the miss, Jamison good inside position, and a loose ball foul on Kelvin Cato. Here's a look at it, Phil.
Well, okay, see Francis is going to go up and little lightning, but we'll see that right foot get up underneath the leg. And Antonio just comes down on the left side on that foot and just turns it over. And he's in a great deal of pain, but as you said, it's a good sign to see him at least putting a little bit of pressure on it.
Walking off with head athletic trainer Eric Waters on the right. Of course, the Wizards without Caron Butler for the second straight game. Butler, who played well against Toronto, has a thigh contusion. But we saw him last night. He said it's getting better. It feels okay, and he just needed a couple more days off.
Yeah. And again, this is the benefit of having players, not just a deep team, but also having guys that can play several positions. Now they have Chucky Atkins in there with Gilbert Arenas.
Last year, Butler, as you see, a career high 15.5 points a game. He seems to have improved his scoring and his game every year. His first 2 years in Miami, last year in LA after the trade for Shaq.
Well, he finished the preseason strong. The last 2 games against Houston and Indiana, very good game, 20-plus point games, and then the game against Toronto, he played a significant role there too.
And was rewarded with a contract extension by Ernie Grunfeld and Abe Poland of some $47 million. So looks like Caron Butler will be here in Washington for a while, and he's happy about it.
Yeah.
Wizards have cut the lead to 2. Here's Turkoglu for Francis. Now Booth is out on him. Switch by Jamison. Francis for Cato, takes the jumper and misses short. Knocked out of bounds to Orlando with 4 seconds to shoot.
Washington again having trouble securing those rebounds or loose balls, but particularly the rebounds after they get defensive stops. Wow, that's a long time. And they got the timeout?
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about this before, Phil. The 5 seconds in an NBA game is about 7.5 seconds in real life. And you will hear this argued by every NBA referee in the league, including the supervisors of officials. But I challenge them to put a clock on that and tell me that was not longer than 5 seconds.
Sometimes we get anxious and we think that time is moving along quicker than it really is. So maybe it was 5 seconds, but it just seemed longer than 5 seconds. I'm not saying it was.
I can't tell you how many times I've found myself at a stoplight watching that clock tick down, to cross the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, 5 seconds is fast. It moves quick.
It means you better get yourself across that street.
Hey, folks, after the games, tune to the network with the most complete post-game coverage. Redskins and Ravens post-game live, only here on Comcast Sportsnet. Immediate reaction and analysis right after every Redskins and Ravens game. Post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Chick Hernandez Boy, two thrilling openers for Washington on the road. And as Ernie Grunfeld told me before the game, we didn't just get 2 wins. We got them on the road, which is so important to get going.
Yeah, and again, they did what they had to do. Not great performances, but in key situations, they were able to execute defensively and offensively, and you like that. Now it's time to come home and protect your home turf.
And I mentioned this to you last night in New York. I thought that the experience on this team and also the play in the playoffs last year really helped Washington towards the end of the game in both those games on the road.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a tremendous measuring tool and learning what you have to continue to work on. And I think they knew going into that, but certainly after the playoffs, that they really had to buckle down and do a better job defensively and also do a better job of raising their shooting percentage, taking good shots, and making good decisions.
Cato with 3 seconds, blocked away. Arenas battles for it, and it's a 24-second violation.
Boy, another blocked shot. You know, they had 8 blocked shots totaled by 4 different players. Antoine Jamison, Jared Jeffries, Brendan Haywood, and Etan Thomas. Now you see, now is that 9? Yeah, 9, and you see Booth getting into the act, so good job.
Wizards can tie or take the lead. Arenas, well, I'm not sure who he was passing to, obviously somebody.
Fortunately, that may go as a shot for him, though. Hit the rim.
Nelson fires over Atkins, no good, and Calvin is there. Arenas for 3, got it! And the Wizards have regained the lead by 1.
Well, that was a much-needed shot there. Washington struggling more than they have in the other 2 games offensively, but coming up with a big shot there. Gilbert Arenas, a big 3, giving it 22.
Francis around the pick, goes inside, looking for contact, no call. Ball on the floor, and taken by Washington. Arenas gives it up for Jamison.
That's another 3.
Wizards on a 10-0 run, and they've taken the lead by 4. I mean, we saw the same thing last night in New York. When they needed clutch baskets, they got them from Antoine Jamison, who had struggled early, but found his shooting touch, and then came back to help the Wizards win.
Boy, it really helps when you get those open looks. And Jameer Nelson a little slow in pulling up on Gilbert Arenas, and this time Gilbert has another look, but instead kicks it over to another open player, his teammate Antoine Jamison. He puts the 3 down, 6 quick points in a very short span.
Wizards now 4 of 13 from 3-point range, and Orlando 2 of 7. So a 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes for Washington. Magic had led by as many as 9. And there's the run since the Daniels injury. Antonio Daniels coming down on an ankle. Atkins on Turkoglu. For Nelson around the Howard screen. Arenas for 3. And Ruffin is there. Eddie Jordan off the bench shouting offensive instructions. Jamison, floating jumper, tipped in. Michael Ruffin.
Jolly on the spot. You know, he had 5 offensive rebounds in that game last night in New York.
Wizards have their largest lead of 6. Turkoglu. "13 points for Hedo Turkoglu. Washington by 4. 1 second difference between the game and shot clocks. Arenas around a Jamison screen. Now he pops the jumper and a little bit strong. Francis has time. 1 second. Stevie goes all the way. Lays it up. No good.
Well, Gilbert may have pulled that trigger a bit too soon because you saw Francis had a chance at that last basket.
But the Wizards come alive towards the end of the third quarter. Since Daniels went down, they came to life to outscore Orlando 12-3 as Washington grabs the lead. After 3 in our nation's capital, it's the Wizards 65, the Magic 61.
I promise.
I promise. I promise a Chevy Cobalt with more standard horsepower than Civic or Corolla, plus a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty.
The 2006 Chevy Cobalt with an EPA estimated 34 highway miles per gallon.
Now get a 2006 Cobalt LS sedan for around $12,990 after all applicable offers.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise, and it starts right here.
See your local Chevy dealer or log on to ChevyFirst.com.
Shouldn't a poor person have an equal opportunity to save money or get a loan?
The United Nations Year of Microcredit is an international effort to make quality financial services available to those who need them most.
If you give me access to the financial tool, I will build something beautiful.
With microfinance, people living in poverty can take control of their lives and build a better future.
To get involved, visit yearofmicrocredit.org.
We see Marco, jazz master, rock star, classical virtuoso. We see his potential. We're inspired to create software that helps him reach it.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball being brought to you tonight by Coleman Toyota. We guarantee nobody beats a Coleman deal. Stats through 3 quarters of play. The Wizards shooting 41% and holding Orlando to 35%. That's playing some pretty good defense. Still being out-rebounded. Washington's hit on 4 3-pointers and have 9 blocks. Let's check in with Chick.
All right, guys, despite the positive news of the comeback, the bad news is Antonio Daniels with that left ankle sprain out for the game. They're getting a test right now, but he is done for tonight. Boys.
All right, Chick, the Wizards have gone on a 12-3 run since the Daniels injury. And they turn it over. Turkoglu fouled by Ruffin.
Well, the Wizards done a good job managing their turnovers. Only 10 turnovers in the first 3 quarters, but start the fourth off with a turnover.
Turkoglu, who is in his 6th year from Istanbul, Turkey. This season shooting 67% from the line, but 2 for 2 there tonight. He's got 14 points.
He's a good example of players of the day. I mean, he's 6'10", handles the ball well, much like our Jared Jeffries, 6'11". These guys can handle the ball extremely well.
Jamison in the corner. Ruffin is there for the offensive rebound. Magic have led by 9. Wizards as many as 6. They're up by 2. Arenas draws contact and can't get it to go.
Well, he'll get to the line now. Only his 3rd and 4th attempt for tonight. Gets around Deshaun Stevenson and then attacks the basket and draws the foul. Looks like Bo Outlaw committed the foul.
Gilbert 1 of 2 from the free throw line, has 22 points. He's made 50% of his shots from the field, 9 of 18. Last year, Gilbert an 81% free throw shooter, was 5th in the NBA in three-point field goals made with 205. And he took 562 attempts last year.
Yeah, but watching him shoot them, it was almost like layups for him.
Effortless.
Yeah.
Into Howard with Calvin Booth on it. Good defense, but they call a foul on Booth, who had great position. And Eddie Jordan is incensed by the call.
I think he had great position body-wise, but I think that left hand was reaching in towards the ball. We'll take another look. Watch on the left side. Does he reach in for the ball? Yeah.
Yep.
And that's where he got called for the foul. Body-wise, he had excellent position.
Yeah, and Eddie, like we, were blocked by the body and couldn't see him reach in and grab the wrist. Eddie's still not happy of the call made by Jack Neese, who I mentioned, elder statesman in the NBA. Jack has a birthday coming up next week. He'll be 68 years old on November 11th.
And to be able to run up and down, I hope I can, well, I don't want to run up, but I hope I would be able to run up if I so choose, which I wouldn't choose to do that at 68.
Wizards by 3. Arenas on the right side. Now he fires a little bit short. Howard blocked by Calvin Booth. 5 to shoot. Turkoglu for Nelson. Over Atkins. Missed it. Tipped out of bounds. Wizards ball. Good defense.
And that's why their opponents have shot such low percentage, because they really get out and challenge each shot. The problem with that, sometimes they leave themselves open for offensive rebounds, and we've seen that happen too.
That block inside was the 10th for Washington. Hayes manages to find the handle. Arenas checks the clock. 6 to shoot. Gilbert on the fadeaway. And Battie is there. In 2 games, the Wizards have held their opposition to 85.5 points per game, which is 5th in the league so far. Brendan Haywood up off the Washington bench.
It's pretty much looks like it's going to be a low-scoring game, too.
Into Howard. Blocked and fouled by Ruffin.
Not a bad foul when you consider that Howard going to the line for 2 is 5 of 9 on the night from the free throw line. Good job from Calvin Booth. They run that pick and roll. He has to drop off on the guard, and that leaves the big man, Dwight Howard, lane to the basket.
Booth comes out of the game after 10 minutes of play. Couple of free throws.
Rebound and a block shot.
And Dwight Howard with a game high 10 free throws.
Well, I mentioned that Washington with 9 block shots, so you're going to see him come from a variety of guys. Brendan Haywood has a couple. Etan has a couple. Jared Jeffries got one. Etan gets that on 2 consecutive plays, and then Calvin Booth coming in and also adding to the block party.
5 guys with 2 blocks each, and for Howard, the 11th free throw attempt of the game for him. He's 7 of 11. He's got 15 points and 11 rebounds. Wizards by 1. Hard-fought game here in Washington. Haywood backs in, goes inside, got hit across the arm. It looked like Dwight Howard got him, and I think they'll call it on Jameer Nelson.
Once again, when Brendan makes this move across the middle, sometimes he takes a little too long. You see the help is able to get there and really challenge that shot. Fortunately, drew a foul by the big man.
Brendan missing the first. He's 1 for 3 from the line, 7.6 rebounds. Wizards have missed 7 free throws in 22 attempts. Swing it for Nelson, who's open for 3 and misses off to the left side. But the rebound to Tony Battie.
That's tough there. That was just a long bounce, hard bounce off the rim.
Wide open, Terrence Morris, that's no good, and Hayes tips it to Haywood. Arenas kicks it out for Atkins. Swing it to Hayes in the baseline, a little bit short. Jarvis 3 for 10 from the field.
Good job defensively. Brendan stopped Howard, forced him to shoot an off-balance fadeaway shot. And then he and Ruffin secured the rebound.
Ruffin looking for Haywood. He's double teamed. Arenas, now he works free for an easy jumper and drills it.
You know, he practices these shots. In fact, that's the part of his game, the mid-range jump shot that he said he really concentrated on improving. And sometimes you shoot there so many times that you feel like you can make those shots in your sleep. Doesn't always happen that way.
Blocked again. I don't know who got that. It might have been Haywood.
Brendan. Yeah.
Atkins pulls up, and there's his first three
Good shot.
as a
Look at
Wizard.
it. He said,
And he says, finally.
Well, you know, in that Toronto game, even though he missed all of his shots except one, the one he made was that drive to the basket, and that came at a crucial time.
But Chucky Atkins, who made 176 threes last year, the most of his career, gets his first as a Wizard.
Well, well. Looks like it's double credit time. Only at Southwest.com. Just go to Southwest.com to book an everyday low fare and earn double Rapid Rewards credit. And it's only when you fly by November 17th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Every one of your senses has been made a priority. The new 6-speed all-wheel drive IS from Lexus at your Washington area Lexus dealer.
If you want to understand what it's all about, you have to go inside. Let's do this. Critics are calling Get Rich or Die Trying an instant classic like Scarface, the most powerful movie of the year. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson gives a breakthrough performance. These folks feeling you, man. And director Jim Sheridan is a master storyteller. 2 thumbs up.
Show no love. Love will get you killed.
Get Rich or Die Trying. Rated R. Starts Wednesday.
Hey fans, on Monday nights, a different kind of sports show. Football, entertainment, and sports all on one show. Watch it. Everyone's talking about it. It's Monday Night Live at 7:30 on Mondays, and it's only on Comcast Sports Net. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, Chick Hernandez, our Comcast Sports Net crew as the Wizards applying defense with a 6-point lead. Atkins near steal on Stevenson. 7 to shoot. Morris cut off by Haywood. For Stevie Francis. Fadeaway jumper. No good at the buzzer, but a rebound by Orlando.
Did everything right. Michael Ruffin trying to reach back. Couldn't grab hold of that.
Wow. 2 possessions, 2 chances with the offensive rebound. Francis inside, kicks it out. Battie's wide open jumper, no good. This time Haywood is there.
Boy, Atkins and Francis got tangled up.
Arenas cut off. Atkins will try another one. No, he goes inside to Ruffin, who wisely kicks it to Hayes. Jarvis can't get the three. He struggled tonight.
And neither team shooting exceptionally well in this quarter, but Orlando has missed all of their attempts from the field. All their points in this quarter have come from the line.
Ruffin bodies Howard and is called for the foul. Jarvis Hayes 3 of 11 from the field, and Antoine Jamison will come back in for Chucky Atkins, who's 1 for 4, but that one was his first three-pointer, and it was a big one. Orlando has yet to make a field goal in this quarter. They're 0 for 9. Stevenson inside. No call, and a blocking foul is called on Jarvis Hayes.
Well, evidently the official felt like Jarvis did not get there in time.
Bang, bang play. Stevenson makes the first. Was the 23rd overall pick in 2000 out of high school in Fresno, California. Gets them both. Approaching the 6-minute mark in regulation. Wizards looking to start the season 3-0. Haywood, penetration by Arenas, inside Ruffin, hammered.
Wow. That was a hard foul, and you don't see Michael Ruffin usually react like that.
They got the fans up out of their seats. Here's another look.
Penetration from Gilbert, dumps it off to Ruffin. And he gets the ball, but then he gets him on the neck.
And that is Stevie Francis that came down on top of him.
Well, he was coming down. He mistimed the jump. He's trying to make sure he gets the ball. I don't think Stevie meant to hurt him, but that was probably a flagrant call. Is that what they call? Guess we'll find out in a minute.
We'll take a break and find out. It is a flagrant one, which will be shot when we return after these messages.
Nobody does basketball better. The games in high definition, highlights, and NBA action every night on Sports Night. Game breakdowns after every game on Wizards post-game live. This year, total Wizards coverage. Comcast Sportsnet. More games, more news, more passion. Nobody does basketball better. Watch the Wizards. Comcast Sportsnet.
I'm loving you more. Loving you more every day. Yes, I am.
No matter where your relationships take you, you'll find more bars in more places. That's the goal of the largest digital voice and data network in America. Singular's all over network. Singular, raising the bar.
I promise, Chevy Equinox has the highest possible 5-star government front crash test rating.
And has the most rear seat legroom of any SUV in its class.
Equinox from Chevy, the #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America.
Now get a 2006 Equinox LS front-wheel drive for around $20,345 after all applicable offers.
That's the Chevy Total Value Promise, and it starts right here.
See your local Chevy dealer or log on to ChevyFirst.com.
Wizards lead the Magic by 4. Michael Ruffin will be at the line to shoot 2 free throws, and the Wizards will get the ball back after a flagrant 1 foul charged to Steve Francis of Orlando. Hey, fans, stay tuned after the game for Wizards Postgame Live, presented by Eastern's Automotive Group. So 2 free throws and the ball, and Michael Ruffin, his first attempts of the game. Last year, Michael was a 43% shooter from the line, but worked very hard over the summer. to try to improve his shots. Makes one of two.
Well, in close games, sometimes you get a little tension there. You can see Francis that time grabbing out. I think he was off balance and just grabbed Chucky Atkins for balance. But here, he does commit a hard foul with the block. Ruffin doesn't take too kindly to it, but he makes one of two free throws.
Arenas long jumper way short off the right side. Francis the rebound. Wizards by 5. Stevie inside draws a foul.
Careful, Gilbert.
Jack Neese checking with Jim Capers Jr., and it is on Arenas. And Gilbert reacted incredulously.
That's his 5th foul. He's really got to be careful. Remember, they pulled him out for a brief second, and that's when Antonio Daniels went down. They got him back in there. So he'll play the rest of this game with the 5 fouls.
Stevie 4 for 4 from the line, coming into the game shooting just 64% from the free throw line in 2 games. Magic are 0-2 on the year. Gets them both. Cuts the lead to 3. 5.5 to play in regulation. Wizards have not started a season 3-0 since 78-79. Arenas, and he is fouled and will shoot 2. Somebody went down hard for Orlando.
Stevenson.
It is Stevenson.
Yeah. Well, Gilbert has gotten so good at this over the last couple of years, realizing his strength and his quickness and ability to get to the basket in key situations. He's going to get the contact and make sure that he gets to the line. Very often, though, he has a chance of even converting those difficult shots.
I think he may have come down on Stevenson and hit him in the face, but he went over to Deshaun and slapped him on the butt in a nice gesture of sportsmanship. 27 points for Gilbert Arenas, who came into this game averaging 24, 12th in the NBA. Last year averaged 25.5 points a game. That was 7th in the league. Fans chanting defense with 5:15 to play in regulation. Stevenson against Arenas. Lays it up easily and in.
Well, that was just a simple one-on-one move. Gilbert's got to do a better job of making that a lot more difficult than that was.
11 points for Stevenson. Atkins off a screen. Jamison had it taken away. Just the Wizards' 12th turnover, but it's resulted in 14 Orlando points.
Very close to being at that three-point line, but it's only a 2.
30 points in the game as Arenas leads all scorers. But just 2 Wizards in double figures.
Well, good job by Michael Ruffin to make sure Dwight Howard didn't get that offensive rebound.
Atkins will pull the trigger and miss. Jamison's there to put it up. Score the field goal. He'll go to the line.
Antoine had good inside position, but you saw how quickly he grabbed the rebound and put it right back up. The defense didn't have a chance to react. A tough shot from Atkins doesn't go down. Antoine grabs it quickly. He's right back up like a jackrabbit, puts it in, and gets fouled.
And Antoine misses the free throw, his first miss of the game. Now 4 of 5. He's got 19 points and 9 rebounds. Howard stripped and fouled, and they'll say Ruffin got him. Wizards shooting 67% from the free throw line. They've missed 9 free throws in the game.
Yeah, 8 for 27. Here's that shovel pass. Ruffin wasn't even in the play. You sure they called that on Ruffin? That was Brendan Haywood.
I will double check, and it is Ruffin.
Ruffin wasn't in the play.
You know what that is? That's the basketball version of the in the neighborhood call, Phil. You know, they have that in baseball.
And it looked like it was a clean strip, too.
Yeah.
But we won't even go there, but it wasn't Ruffin.
That is definitely the in the neighborhood call. They knew that Haywood has 3 fouls.
Well, Ruffin has 4.
By the way, Gilbert Arenas with 30 points. It's his 4th straight 30-point game against the Magic. Turkoglu. Haywood knocked away and saved by Stevenson. Howard slams it in.
Boy, not coming up with those loose balls.
Yeah, that
ever so close, but still.
That could turn out to be one of the key plays of the game, as the Wizards had a 79-74 lead and a chance to recapture possession. Jamison won't go down, but he'll shoot 2 more. Antoine 4 of 5 from the line tonight. Timeout on the floor. Wizards are hustling all over the place, including Gilbert Arenas, who's 11 of 23 from the field, has 30 points, couple of rebounds, and 3 assists. 2:44 to play. Washington up 79-76.
At SunTrust, we see beyond wealth to why you build it. We help you make the right financial choices now and smarter ones for generations to come. We look beyond balance sheets to what growing businesses need, and beyond the next deal to help companies well into the next decade. We look beyond banking to offer financial services that help entire communities grow stronger. SunTrust, seeing beyond money.
Water that's more pure. Jet engines, trains, and power plants that run dramatically cleaner. At GE, we're using what we call eco-imagination to create technology that's right in step with nature. GE, imagination at work.
You see the scores by quarter. The Wizards have a 3-point advantage, and Antoine Jamison will be at the free throw line to shoot 2 with 2:48 to play in regulation. Magic have led by as many as 9 in this game. Wizards came back and took a 6-point lead, and they're currently up by 3. Our Ford game summary.
Well, Dwight Howard, his first double-double of the year. Remember, last year he averaged 10 rebounds a game. Gilbert Arenas, his first 30-point game. He's made 3 of 6 from three-point range. He's been shooting well from three-point range, as Antonio Daniels went down in the 3rd quarter with a sprained ankle. And hopefully he can recover from that fast. Got him down, Caron Butler.
We know that Daniels will not be back tonight, and it is the left ankle, but we don't know how serious it is. Antoine Jamison, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 20 points, 9 rebounds. Wizards now 20 of 29 from the free throw line. They lead it by 5. Great pass to Jamison underneath, and he draws a foul. He'll shoot 2 more. Nifty passing by Arenas to Atkins to Jamison.
Atkins was really streaking down. You want to get that ball in the middle as best you can. You had Gilbert coming down the side, but with Atkins filling the middle, now you have the court balance that you want, and he could either take it straight to the basket, or as he did in this case, swung it to the wingman, Jamison, who drew the foul.
Jarvis Hayes coming in for Gilbert Arenas with 2:23 to go. And Jamison 6 of 8 from the line. Will try again. Wow. Three-pointer by Steve Francis. Gives him 16 for the game. Magic have 4 players in double figures. Atkins penetrates, lays it up. That's goaltending.
Good job by Chucky Atkins to turn that corner. They're running a weave, and now he turns the corner, sees the middle open. Dwight Howard gets that ball on the way down. That'll be 2 more for Chucky Atkins. He's got a total of 5 tonight.
Francis kicks it out for Stevenson inside, dumps it underneath for Stevie. Blocked underneath, ball out of bounds off of Ruffin. And it's Orlando ball with 4 seconds to shoot.
Make sure you force that pass to go away from the basket. Don't let any lob pass go inside. And that's going to be James. Make that pass come out this way.
For Stevie on Atkins. Throws up a shot. Misses. Jamison is there. 1:15 to go. Fans coming to life in the phone booth. Hayes for Atkins. 6 to shoot. Chucky around Stevenson. Penetrates for Hayes, who lost the ball. It's on the floor, and a loose ball foul to be called on Jarvis Hayes.
Both teams in the penalty. You really don't want to commit that foul. Stop the clock and send somebody to the line. Chucky Atkins trying to draw a crowd. You see 4 defenders, but I think Jarvis was planning on shooting that ball before he had control of it.
So Steve Francis, who has made all 5 of his free throws tonight, will go to the line. 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Misses the first.
First miss tonight.
Back in 96-97, Steve Francis went to San Jacinto Junior College in Texas. Then he transferred to Allegheny Community College the following year and led both schools to unbeaten seasons.
Wow.
Missed them both. How do you like that? Atkins! Jamison, the offensive rebound.
Take the clock. Take the full clock.
And now Francis commits the foul on Chucky Atkins. And he'll go to the line. And listen to these fans, a sellout in Washington.
And Chucky Atkins with the 2-2.
Last year, Chucky was an 80% free throw shooter. Played and started in all 82 games for the Lakers, so a little different role for him this year coming off the bench. But he averaged a career high in LA, 13.6 points a game. Oh! Wizards have missed 12 free throws in the game. That was a big one. Gives the Wizards the lead by 5 with 31.7 seconds to play. So Orlando naturally will come down. They don't need to hit the 3, but
they've got to score 2 possessions, so
right.
they need a quick basket. So
Right.
Washington obviously is going to fight them, force them to consume some time on this shot.
Clearly they'll go for a quick shot, Phil, and if they can make it, then they'll probably foul the Wizards and or play tough defense and get the ball back. But by then it'll be probably under 24 seconds.
Yeah, it should be. Hopefully you don't allow them to get that shot off in 5 or 6 seconds.
Hey fans, nobody gets you closer to local sports than Comcast Sportsnet, the area's sports leader, giving you the best coverage of your favorite teams. Scores, news, highlights, and more. Tonight, watch Sports Night, presented by PricewaterhouseCoopers, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Our producer, Wade Rowland, director, Chris Drain, and our graphic artist, Matt Mastracci, with us on hand tonight from Comcast Sportsnet. Lori Green, our stage manager, as the Wizards play the first of 41 games at home.
Not including the playoffs, of course.
Right. Last year, they made it to the second round of the playoffs. After losing 2 straight to Chicago, they won 4 in a row in impressive fashion for Abe Pollin and Irene Pollin, and then lost 4 straight to Miami. And Antoine Jamison said, as good as we played, the 4 losses to Miami left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. They vowed to come back and try to play tougher defense and stay in games.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, you start getting a taste for that. You really start to elevate your own expectations and goals. Again, force them to consume time and to take bad shots.
Francis nearly knocked away. Throws it to Stevenson. He's looking inside for Howard. Spins in the lane. Haywood up high. Jamison the rebound, and he is fouled. What an offensive rebound by Antoine Jamison.
Yeah, he's really come alive on the boards, especially in this quarter. He's grabbed 2 or 3 really strong rebounds in a crowd. Not to mention that offensive rebound with the putback he got.
Actually, that one was a defensive rebound, but it gives the Wizards the offensive possession now and 2 free throws.
Good job by Brendan forcing Stevenson to miss that shot. But they really got them out of their first set and forced them to go to some other options and eventually take a difficult shot.
Aggressive play by Brendan Haywood as well. Jamison now with 22 points. And Orlando just 4 of 19 from the field in this, the 4th quarter.
We talked about Orlando being without, obviously, Grant Hill. They could use, they have yet to reach 90 points, and unless something silly happens here, won't reach 90 points tonight.
Francis goes all the way, runs over Haywood, and that's an offensive foul. $16 points for Steve Francis on 5 of 16 shooting. Wizards have their largest lead now of 7 points. Atkins fouled immediately by Francis, and Chucky will revisit the free throw line.
For Francis, that's his 5th personal.
That was the voice of head coach Eddie
Jordan.
Jordan.
Airtime with the coach.
Yeah, he's a frustrated broadcaster, so He wanted to get in on the act as Atkins misses the free throw.
But he made a good point. Brendan has taken some charges in these first 3 games.
Yes, he has.
Big ones, too.
Wizards from the free throw line tonight. 24 of 37, 65%. And we talked about this before. While it looks like they're going to come out of this with a victory, they make it very difficult on themselves when you don't hit those free throws.
Yeah, when you start playing those better teams, I mean, they're going to make you pay for missed free throws and missed defensive rebounds. You give them 2 and 3 shots at the basket, they're going to really burn you.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Wizards basketball has been brought to you tonight by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Geico, where a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Toyota, choosing any direction as long as it's moving forward. .30 points tonight for Gilbert Arenas on 11 of 23 shooting in 43 minutes of play.
Last year we showed you the stat where he was one of the top players in minutes per game. He continues to stay out there, and in 4 games against the Magic, he had 30 points in each game. Remember, he had a stretch of games where he had, I think out of 15 or 16 games, he had 11 of them were 30-plus games. He really went on a tear, and much of those games was, I believe, and tonight, I'm sorry, so that's tonight he had 30 points. So one of those games he didn't have. But he did have a stretch of games where he had 11 or 12.
I believe you.
Based on what I just said, you shouldn't believe me.
It was the 1978-79 season when the Wizards began 4-0. But they have not started 3-0 since then. That year they knocked off New Orleans, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Prior to that, in the 74-75 season, they began with 7 consecutive wins. In that 78-79 season, they won 54 games. And they will get number 3 on the year tonight. And hand the Orlando Magic their 3rd consecutive loss. Eddie Jordan's club playing some tough defense. They hold the Magic to 31% shooting from the field.
Well, again, they've really gotten after defensively, challenging shots. They must improve on the rebounding. They've been out-rebounded in all 3 contests, but you can't argue with a 3-0 record.
First time in 26 years that the Wizards have started the season undefeated in 3 games. And they do it tonight with an 87-79 win over Orlando. And let's check in with Chick Hernandez. Chick.
You started tonight by having the microphone in your hand and thanking the fans for last year and saying, enjoy the rest of this season. Got off to a great start.
I want to say you look good.
Thank you very much.
Dress code? Is that part of the new dress code?
Yes, it is. Part of absolutely.
Yeah, you know, they're the reason we keep coming out playing, playing hard because, this organization was in a hole for a while. And, we got a team that re-energized the city. And, this is the most powerful city in the world, so we have to have the most powerful fans in the world.
A lot of people made a big deal about Larry Hughes leaving, but the depth of this team. Booth, Atkins tonight, part of a 21-6 run when Antonio Daniels goes out.
Yeah, we have our lapses where, we mess up, but, the team is a veteran team, so we can make mistakes early and then, make up for it at the end. We don't need to score 103 points this year. We just got to grind it out, until we can pull it out to win.
And how do you keep it status quo here? This is the best start since 1978, Gilbert.
Oh, we're not worrying about that. We have a goal, and, we're just going to keep coming out fighting, keep coming out playing. If we can go undefeated the whole season, we would, but, we're just going to keep going out there playing hard.
Gilbert, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. All right, that's the Chevy Chase player of the game, Gilbert Arenas. Buck.
So the Wizards victorious 87-79, and Phil, 3 tough wins in 3 games, 2 of them on the road. And now they have to start getting ready for the L.A. Clippers, a much improved team that comes in here on Wednesday night.
In fact, they played 3 games against West Coast teams. But, yeah, I mean, those kind of games build character. You talk about the 2 road games, playing against teams in their home opener, and then coming here, once again, not having their best full-out effort, also sustaining a key injury to Antonio Daniels, but finding a way to get the job done. That's so important. And it was good to see Chucky Atkins convert a couple of key baskets in that 4th quarter.
So the Wizards victorious 87-79 to improve to 3-0 on the year. Now for Phil Chenier, our entire Comcast Sportsnet team, Steve Buckhantz reminding you that Wizards basketball has been a presentation of Washington Sports and Entertainment, Comcast Sportsnet, and the NBA. Stay tuned. Wizards postgame live is next. Phil and I will see you in the postgame show, and again right here Wednesday night for the game against the Clippers. Have a safe evening, everyone.